Okay, good morning everyone. Zok the Mishnah. Umnen Yisrael. Sheshalach lahem oved kochavim chavish shel yayin nesech bischaran. We had this idea before. If you have a Jewish worker who an oved kochavim sends a barrel of yayin nesech to, mutter lomar, he can say to him, tein lanu estameh. I don't want the barrel, I want money instead. You can basically say, I can't take your yayin nesech as payment. Mishanich al rishusan aser. Once he takes it into his rishus, then he's messed over, because then he's accepted the yayin nesech as payment. He can no longer get hana from the yayin nesech, and therefore he has to throw it out, and he's sort of stuck. So if he takes it into his rishus, he acquires it and he's stuck. If he didn't take it into his rishus yet, he can return it and say, I want money instead. Amar Rav Yehuda Marav, mutar la'adam lomar le'oved kochavim say v'hafeis alai manas hamelech. When you pay taxes, so you have two choices. You could either give literally taxes, the item itself. So in this case, the Jew has a lot of wine. So he needs to either give a tenth of his wine or whatever the amount is of his wine to the melech, or he needs to pay money. So over here, he's allowed to say to a non-Jew, you go settle my taxes for me. Now what's the possibility? What's going to happen? The non-Jew is going to give yayin nesech on behalf of the Jew to pay his taxes. Meisvei says the Gemara, we're not worried, the Gemara says, because you're not telling him to give yayin nesech. Like giving your clothes to the cleaner is not the same case, but before Shabbos, he can clean it on Shabbos, he can clean it after Shabbos. Over here he could pay with yayin nesech, but he could pay with money as well, or with non-yayin nesech. Therefore, even if he uses yayin nesech, you've gone ahead and haven't considered to have gotten hana from the yayin nesech, or indirect hana, which is fine. Problem is, we have a brisa that says that you cannot say to an oved kochavim, you go instead of me to the otzer, to the ruler. It sounds like I cannot have him do whatever he wants. Amar le Rav, no. Ol tachti la'otzar ka'amart, halo damya laha aval omer lo malteini min ha'otzar. That you're right. If you say ol tachti la'otzar, take my place, then he's literally being your shliach for you. And then when he pays with the yayin nesech, it's as if you paid with the yayin nesech, and that's going to be a problem. But if you just say take care of my bill, or you say go ahead, please, and malteini min ha'otzar, please save me from the king, i.e. by paying my taxes, then he's just not your shliach, he's just paying for you, and therefore, even if he pays with yayin nesech, he had the right to go ahead and pay with money, and therefore it's okay. But if you literally say, step instead of me, then l'maiseh, when he pays with yayin nesech, it's as if you were paying with yayin nesech, and it's going to be a problem. Yes?
I would say the opposite when he says, ol tachtai, is that you would not be able to use yayin nesech to pay. So how could he use yayin nesech to pay? Be what I am. So you, as a shaliach, use his yad, and he can't do that.
Well, again, the problem is that he's saying, ol tachti la'otzar, you're stepping in instead of me, right. And now he's actually paying yayin nesech.
It is legal for you.
But he's actually going and paying yayin nesech. It means the Metzius is that this.
So it's okay because he would never. It would never. That's not the intention ever.
Interesting. That's not how the Gemara is learning. You're right. I hear the Taina. The Gemara is saying, "Ol tachti, whatever you do, go in my stead." And therefore, when he pays with yayin nesech, it's as if you're paying yayin nesech yourself.
Yeah. The whole basic question is, why is he paying your taxes?
Again, because you don't have the money right now. I mean, that's anything. You don't have the money, and he's going to pay for you. He owes you money, whatever it is. You're not in town, he owes you money. He's a good friend. So again.
Maybe they're collecting on Shabbos.
Right. Zok the Mishnah. It could be, again, it could be one of many reasons. That's what the Gemara says. If I sell my wine to oved kochavim, this is where it gets a little difficult. Hamocher yenu lo v'kochavim, pasak ad shelo madad damav mutarin, madad ad shelo pasak damav asurin. So look at Rashi. I sell my wine to an oved kochavim. Now what's the challenge here? What are we dealing with here? We're dealing with the fact that if the oved kochavim touches it before he actually purchased it, halachically, it becomes yayin nesech. We're not worried. It's interesting. It seems like in this Mishnah, we're not worried about him pulling it. It doesn't sound like if he moves it. Like today, we're worried that even if he touches an open bottle, it's going to be a problem. Here it sounds like we're not necessarily worried about him pulling it towards him. We're just worried about him sticking his hand and touching it. Okay? So over here, if in fact he acquires it before he touches it, then he acquired it, he touched it, it became yayin nesech in his possession, not a problem. Okay. If he touches it before he acquired it, and now you sell it to him, now when he pays you for it, you're selling yayin nesech, you're getting enough yayin nesech, and that's going to be aser. So what's the case here? Hamochi and Alovei Kochavim. Pasak ad shelo madad damav mutarin. Pasak over here does not mean that he pays you. Pasak clearly means in this mission, even though Rashi brings another lishna, Pasak means that they agree upon a price, and then they measure it, then damav is mutarin. Then it's okay. But if we measure it, and then we agree on a price, the money that he pays me, damav means the money that he pays me for it is aser. Rashi. Hamochi and Alovei Kochavim pasak imo maos ad shelo madad damav mutarin. So if we agree upon a price before I measure it out to him, then the damav is mutter. And the Gemara is going to talk about, are we pouring it into my measuring utensil, or am I pouring it into his measuring utensil? First, again, I have a big barrel. The question is, am I pouring it into my measuring utensil, which he's then taking, or am I pouring it and then putting it into his, or am I pouring it directly into his? Mefarish b'Gemara, according to the first opinion, that taima ika demoki la mishum meshicha be'ovei kochavim kana. The whole discussion here is whether meshicha by a non-Jew is kana. Hilkach, if you say it's kona, kishem moded hainu meshicha. Over here again, he's not pouring it, but when we measure it, and then he takes the thing that I measured, that's meshicha. Ukniya ovei kochavim miyad, and he acquires it. Tahavalei liyisrael zuzei gabi de'ovei kochavim behalva. Since they agreed on a price, so it's as if I lent him the money. So the Gemara here is assuming that what's the halacha? Meshicha by an ovei kochavim is kona. Therefore, what happened? Let's just assume you're the ovei kochavim. So we agree upon a price, right? So now we agreed upon the price. Now I pour the wine into a measuring utensil. You pull the measuring utensil towards you. Meshicha by an ovei kochavim is kona. You were kona it. Right. We agreed upon a price. Now it belongs to you. It's as if you already owe me the money, because you took something, you haven't paid me for it yet. We agreed upon a price, but when you took it, you were kona, now you owe me the money. Now when you touch it, and you make a yayin nesech, it's already yours. Okay. Therefore it became yayin nesech and your rishus. The fact that you pay me later is not a problem, because you already owed me the money when you acquired it. And therefore, l'maisa, it's okay. However, madarat shelo pasag Rashi damav asurin di ovei kochavim lo kanya b'meshicha dekevan de lo pasag damav lo samach daite. In the case, we say Mashiach is Kona. But in the case where we didn't discuss a price first, and now I pour the wine and now you pull the wine towards you, yes, Mashiach in general is Kona, but not before you discuss a price, because then you can just tie it, I wouldn't really want to buy it. So now you do Mashiach before we discuss a price. Now you touch it. Now we discuss the price. Now already it's yayin nesech before it belonged to you, even though in general Mashiach is Kona. Now if I go ahead and sell it to you, I'm selling yayin nesech to you, and the money that I get is going to be aser. Etc. If it has a price tag, it's fine. It's not a matter of paying right now, it's a matter of agreeing on a price. Once you agree on a price, the Gemara is learning, once you agree on a price, it's as if he now already bought it for you. Now he just has to do the Mashicha. Once he does the Mashicha, again, if you're Pasak, but he doesn't do the Mashicha and he just sticks his hand in, it's going to be a problem. But Pasak with the Mashicha now belongs to him. Now when he touches it, he didn't pay you the money yet, but the Pasak with the Mashicha, we're going to see in the Gemara in just a second that another way to do it without the Mashicha is just to actually pay the money. This is pasuk where you agreed upon a price, you didn't actually pay the money. So that's what the Gemara means. The Mishnah says, if we agree on a price, then even before I pour it to you, damav mutarin, because again, once you do Mashicha, you're konit, now when you stick your hand in, now it's going to be mutter to pay me, because you already owed me the money before you put your hand in. However, if in fact we don't set a price, and then you take it and stick your hand in, now if I collect from you, it's going to be a problem. So this all goes according to Meimar. Amar Meimar in the Gemara.
Why does he just do Khalifa?
Again, he could do it. This is just the way that he did it.
I'm just saying, if he does like that,
it's not so clear. It's not so clear that Chalipin works by an Ovik Chacham either. What we're trying to figure out is we know Mashiach works by a Jew, but it's not so pasha that Chalipin will work by a non-Jew. This actually comes up halacha l'maisa on Friday. For you can watch this year on Facebook Live. You can watch the Mechiras Chametz we're going to do at 9:30 Facebook Live. But you'll see that when we sell it to the non-Jew, he does like 6 different kinyanim, because we're not sure which ones work. So he does chalipin, he does chatzer, he does derech agav, he does meshicha, where he picks up all the papers, because we're not sure. There's machlokes really by all of them which one works. He does kesef, which most people say works, and we actually write in the document. It's very interesting to see the shtar. So you write in the shtar that they're all to the exclusion of the other ones, because in case one doesn't work, then one can tie it. Well, it ruins the entire transaction. So each one is separate. We do 6 different kinyanim with him this way to make sure that it's a real sale. So this actual mission is talking about the idea whether Mashiach will work. Mashiach works by a Jew. The question is whether Mashiach works. So it seems like, according to the way we're learning, that Meimar holds, and that explains the Mishnah, that Mashiach will work when doing business with a non-Jew as well. So Amar Meimar Mashiach b'ovei kochavim kaneh. Teda, I have a proof that Mashiach works. Tahani parsoi, there were non-Jews ovei kochavim mishadre pardashne ladade. They would sell different presents, or they would send, not sell, they would send different presents to each other. V'lo hadru behu. And even if they regretted it afterwards, they wouldn't go back and be hadr, they wouldn't go back on the present that they sent. Well, what did they do? All they did was give the guy, and the guy did Mashiach on it. So you see that Ovei Kochavim did Mashiach, and they wouldn't go back. Clearly, Mashiach is Koneh. Rav Ashi amar la'ol mei melacha Mashiach b'Ovei Kochavim eino Koneh. No. Mashiach by Ovei Kochavim is not Koneh. V'hayde lo hadri bu de Ramos Ravchahu de Nakidala. The reason that the non-Jews didn't go back on their presents, not because Mashiach is Koneh. Again, you're assuming that there's a Jewish court here, and if they went to the Jewish court, they would say, well, you're two non-Jews, and Mashiach is Koneh. Saying not because Mashiach is Koneh. The reason that they didn't go back, they could have gone back, because Mashiach is not Koneh. So why did they go back? Because it's embarrassing to take back a present. Everybody's going to know you as the person that gives presents and then takes it back. But in Echanami, halachically, quote unquote, they were able to take it back because Mashiach is not Koneh. Says the Gemara, Ravashi, Amar Ravashi, Mina Minala. Where do we see a proof that Mashiach, in fact, will not be Koneh? And according to Ravashi, as we'll see, our Mishnah would have to be a case not where he does the Mashiach in the Pasak, but where he actually pays the money. Because again, according to Ravashi, if Mashiach is not Koneh, so going back to our Mishnah, Hamochi Yin Lovei Kochavim, Pasak Achelo Madda Damav Mutarin, if Mashiach doesn't actually acquire it, then when he sticks his hand in, he hasn't acquired it yet. Therefore, it must be that he paid for it. He acquired it, then when he sticks his hand in, but we're not up to that yet. But right now, first we want to see another case where Rashi tries to prove that Mashiach by a non-Jew is not Koneh, whether they're doing it amongst themselves or whether they're doing it Jew to non-Jew. So it's going to be Amar Lu Rav, Lahanu Spuisa, because there's a case with Rav, and we see from this case that Mashiach is not Koneh. Where do we see? Rav told these Jewish owners of wine, Ki chaylisu chamer le'ovdei kochavim, shaklu zuze minayu v'hadar kailan lehu. When you go ahead and you measure / sell wine to non-Jews, make sure that you take the money first and only then measure and give it to them. Because Mashiach, he's bringing the proof. Mashiach is not going to be Koneh. Therefore, if you would pour it to them and they would take it into their possession, Mashiach is not Koneh. Yeah. Therefore, if they then stuck their hand in, it's Yayin Nesach belonging to a Jew. If they pay you beforehand, then as soon as they take it, then it belongs to them already. And now when they stick their hands in, they stuck it in when they had already acquired it through the payment of money. But you see, Mashiach is not Koneh. V'ilo nakitu be'adayu zuzeh. So he said, if they don't have any money, what should you do? Ozifnu. You should lend them money. Why? If you really want to make the sale, and they have no money, what should you do? You need to actually lend them money and then let them pay you to buy the wine, and then they'll pay you. So it's sort of getting around it. It means that they want to buy. They want to buy wine from you and you want to make the sale. And you trust them that they're going to pay you eventually. So to say to them, take it and you'll pay me later, that you can't do. Because when they take it, quote unquote, they're not konet. Therefore, when they stick their hands in, it's Yayin Nesach, and it doesn't belong to them, it belongs to you, and now it's Yayin Nesach. If you say to them, here's money, and now pay me for it, I'm giving you the money as a present. Now they pay me for it. Now they acquired the thing. Now when they stick their hand into Yayin Nesach and they Rishos, they still owe me the money, right. But it's not because of the Yayin Nesach, it's because they had a hava from me.
It's like the Machzor Shekel.
De'ilo aviditu hachi.
Just loan it and put it back and then loan it.
Right, similar, where you pick it up and you, well, there it's so different. There you actually acquire the Machzor Shekel and then you put it back.
But in this case, there's a moment where the goy actually has both your money and your wine.
No, he doesn't have your wine yet. The point is that he's telling you what you need to do is you need to lend him the money first before you do anything with the wine. You lend the money, he has the money, he pays you. The whole point is that he's paying you before he pulls it to himself, because if he doesn't pay you in time, if he pulls it to himself and then pays you, then he pulls it to himself, puts his hand in, and then he pays you, it's too late. So he pays you with your money, goes ahead. I mean, this is like every case. You have the banks and you have loans and mortgages and all that stuff.
Where your money.
Again, it's the same thing with the bank. They're giving you...
You're borrowing off another guarantor. Here is your own money that you're giving.
I don't know. Can you
buy Yayin Nesach?
Okay. Can you go ahead? You can't take out a loan from the bank to buy a foreclosed property.
He's buying Yayin Nesach. You're lending him money to buy Yayin Nesach.
No, it's not. But it's not Yayin Nesach at the time. At the time that he buys it, it's regular yayin.
That's exact transaction.
But again, it doesn't matter. Whatever. But then obviously you can't sell wine to anybody because he might make a yayin nesach. So we're saying you're allowed to sell it. Whatever he does with it, when he does it, he does it.
Isn't what Rabbi Black saying also? It's against the spirit of what we learned, the idea of this closeness with the goy. In other words, you're fostering it through your money, right? I mean, the whole sheet that we have.
What about selling him in the first place?
So then according to that, you can't sell anything to a goy. Then according to you can't sell anything. But again, according to you, you can't do any business with a goy.
You're not drink with a goy. This is selling a goy. It's your money.
But again, we're not...
him off.
1 second. We don't know that for sure he's going to pour it.
There you go. Now it's okay.
We don't know know that for sure he's gonna. We don't know for sure he's gonna pour it to a thing, and we're talking about the fact that we're gonna be gozer, that if he touches it, even before he pours it, it's gonna be usher because we step back.
Answer his question, Rabbi. The usher is drinking with them and socializing with them. It's not selling them. We're not selling them.
Business is business.
No one says to Jews you can't sell goyim. They say don't sit down with goyim. Don't drink with goyim. Get it?
You're allowed to lend them money. You can't give them a matana.
This is selling goyim.
You're allowed to. Okay. Zak the Gemara. De'ilo avidah tuhachi, because if you don't do this, if you don't lend him the money, you're allowed to lend him. You can't give him a gift. De'ilo avidah tuhachi, if you don't do this, kika have yayin nesech b'rishusaychu kayave, because if you don't lend him the money and you give him the thing and then he touches it, it's in your rishus and it's become yayin nesech v'chisha kiltu, and then when he does pay you, demei yayin nesech kasha kiltu. Says the Gemara, what's the proof? Rashi says that Mashicha is not kona. V'yisach adaitach Mashicha ba'ovei kochavim is kona. So what do you have to? Why is Rav making them pay money? Then just say the way we learned before that he goes ahead and when he takes it he's konet, and then then he goes ahead, he's konet when he does the Mashicha. Then when he sticks his hand in, so as long as you were pasuk namav, he stuck his hand in and it became yayin nesech in his rishus. Rather, the fact that Rav makes him pay for it in order to do it shows that Mashicha doesn't work. Says Gemara, Ida kakayil v'rami l'manad Yisrael hachanami. No, you can't bring any proofs from here, because if in fact we were dealing with a case where me, the Jew, is pouring the wine into my own container, my own measuring cup, so then in a chanami, Rav would not require you, the Ovei Kochavim, to pay first, because Rav would agree. There's a way of rejecting the proof. Rav would agree that Mashicha is Kona. If we were dealing with my actual utensil, then Rav would agree Mashicha is Kona. You don't have to pay beforehand. Why did Rav in this specific case say that the guy needs to pay first? Because what's the case here? The case is Lo tzricha de kakayil v'rami lemana de Ovei Kochavim. The case here is that I'm selling you the wine, and when I'm measuring it in your container. What's the problem with measuring it in your container? Why do you need to pay first? Not because Mashiach is not Koneh, but because your container has little drops of Yayin Nesech in it from the last time you used it, when you poured it yesterday. As soon as this wine hits the bottom of your container, all of this wine becomes Yayin Nesech. Then even though we can say Mashiach is Koneh, even before you did the Mashicha, because again, we're pouring the wine in first and then you're doing the Mashicha. So even if you want to say Mashicha is Kona, that's why Rav says you need to pay first. You pay. Now as soon as I pour the wine into your thing, you already were Konet. Now that it goes into your thing, it becomes Yayin Nesech, it's becoming Yayin Nesech. It's interesting, going back to what Rabbi Black was saying. I'm basically causing this wine, by pouring it into your utensil, I'm causing this wine to become Yayin Nesech, but it doesn't matter. It's indirect. You own it, and therefore it's becoming Yayin Nesech under your auspices, and therefore, Lamais, it's not going to be a problem. Therefore, when Rav says you need to pay, he's not saying you need to pay in a regular case. A regular case, Mashiach is Kona, and you don't need to pay. If I pour it into my thing, it happens to be when we're using your measuring device, we have a separate concern that it's going to become Yayin Nesech as soon as we pour it in. Therefore, even if you hold Mashiach is Kona, it's going to be becoming Yayin Nesech before you even have a chance to pull it towards you, because again, you're giving me your thing. I'm putting it here. I'm pouring in the wine. Usually we said Mashiach is Kona. When you pull it to yourself before you touch the wine and make it Yayin Nesech, Mashiach is Kona. Therefore, when you touch it, it becomes Yayin Nesech, as in your rishus. But even if you say Mashiachas Kona, if I'm using your utensil, as soon as I would pour it in, it would become Yayin Nesech. Now, before you did the Mashicha, it's still mine. Says the Gemara, as long as you pay me beforehand, Rav says you need to pay me beforehand. Therefore, as I'm pouring it, it's already yours. When it hits the bottom and becomes Yayin Nesech, it's already yours. And therefore, when I now give it to you, I already got paid, and Lamaisa, I'm not making money from Yayin Nesech. But Eina Chanami, you have no proof, because that's the only reason that Rav's requiring the money. But Eina Chanami, he would not require the money in another case. Sof, Kimata la Vira Demane Kanya. Gemara says you still have the proof, because at the end of the day, you could say that the non-Jew acquired the wine at the time before it hit the bottom of the thing where the drops were. You acquired it with Kinyan Hagba as it went through the inside of the bowl. We're assuming now, the Gemara is assuming, as Rashi clearly says, the Gemara is assuming that you were holding it in your hand. The Gemara is equating Mashicha with Hagbah. So now we're assuming that what? We're using a non-Jew's measuring cup. You come to me, you want to buy the wine. Using a non-Jew's measuring cup, you're holding it in your hand. As I pour the wine, before it hits the bottom, when it gets into the cavity of the thing, you're koning it with Hagbah / Mashicha. Now it hits the bottom.
Mashicha Hagbah.
What?
So instead of Mashiach
Agba, but we're equating the two, because
Right.
you're holding the thing.
Okay.
The fact that Rav makes you pay money shows that Mashiach slash Agba is not Koneh. Because if you felt that Mashiach slash Agba is Koneh, we have a way around it where you would have been Koneh with Mashiach slash Agba even before it hit the bottom of the barrel. Says the Gemara, Shma mina nitzok chibor. Should we learn from here that when you have a stream, the Gemara is assuming that there was a stream here, and the stream was hitting the bottom, the yayin nesech, and all of the yayin was going to become aser. Says the Gemara, lo, idenaki leove kochavim likle biyade hachanami lo tzricha demana chahara. No, the case is, you're right. If in fact we could reject it and go back to our proof, and we could say what? If in fact you were holding the thing in your hand as I poured it, then in a chanami, Rav would not make you pay. Because we can say that Rav would hold Mashiach is Koneh. Mashiach is Koneh. Why did Rav make them pay in this case? Because it was a different case. Because he had put Shlomi had put the thing on the floor, therefore he's not holding it with Agba slash Mashiach. Therefore what? Therefore, when I pour it in, what do you see? You see that he's not holding it. Therefore, there's no Mashiach slash Agba. Therefore, clearly what? Therefore, when he makes him pay, you clearly see that what? You don't have a proof about Mashiach being Koneh because you're not holding it. And therefore, Lamaisa, you got to pay. Says a Gemara, V'tikni le kelav. Why don't we say that your kli acquires it beforehand? So again, we're assuming that your kli doesn't acquire it. If your kli doesn't acquire it, the reason that you need to pay for it is not because Mashiach is not Koneh. There's no Mashiach here. Because you're, again, not holding it. Therefore, the reason he made him pay is because as soon as it hits the bottom. But in a chanami, if you did Mashiach would be Koneh. That's what the Gemara is saying. V'tigni le kelav. But why in the case where it's on the floor do we not say that when it hits the cavity, so Lamaisa, your kli acquires it before? Well, it's not kinyan chatzar, we'll see in a second, because it's not in your chatzar. We'll see in a second. But why doesn't your kli acquire it?
Which is separate than kinyan chatzar?
The kinyan kli would be that your kli is acquiring something without being on your chatzar. I mean, I guess it would be working al kinyan chatzar. I don't know.
I thought it was the same mentality.
It could be. It could be. But one second. Shma mina, the fact that your kli does not acquire it as it goes into the cavity, what do we learn? Shmas mila kelav shel lokech b'shus mocher lo kana lokech. We can learn from here that since it's in my store, when you put your kli down in Rishus Harabim or in your store, if it would have been done on your property, as we pour it, one can argue that your kli would be Koneh the stuff. And then when it hit the bottom, it would not be a problem because it's already yours. Right. Since it's happening in my property, therefore your kli is not Koneh, and that's why Rav made him give the money. Says the Gemara, no, you don't have to.
Kinyan kli only works in kinyan chatzar.
Lo, says the Gemara, no. No, it works even in the mocher's property. So what's the problem here? So why did you have to pay the money? Why couldn't your kli go ahead and do it? So one could say because Mashiach works. The Gemara is saying no, not because Mashiach works. No, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with Shlomi thing is not a pasha kli. Shlomi's kli is a kli that has a little spout at the top, like our measuring klis. And on the top of that spout is a few drops of yayin nesech. So what's happening? I'm pouring the wine. It's hitting the yayin nesech in the spout, which clearly, according to everybody, is not yet Koneh. Even if you learn that your kli can be Koneh, which we're saying you can, if it was done regularly straight into the kli and hit the bottom of the kli and hit the yayin nesech, enachanami, it's going to be acquired by you as it goes through the kli. The reason it's not being acquired by you as we go through the kli is because it's touching the top of the kli before it gets into the inner part of the kli. It's touching the yayin nesech, becoming yayin nesech right away before you acquired it. Even if you say Mashiach acquires it, even with your kli, here it's not going into the inside of the kli. It hits the yayin nesech on the rim, then it goes into the actual cup. L'maiseh, he needs to pay for it first, because even if you hold that Mashiach works, in that case it's becoming yayin nesech before it goes into the kli of the goy. Now the whole thing becomes yayin nesech, but you have no proof about Mashiach either way, because one can argue that the only reason Rav made you pay in that case, even if you hold that Mashiach works, you can argue that Mashiach works in general, even with your kli and the inside of your kli. But in this case, he made him pay. You have no proof, because you could say that he made him pay specifically because of the drops on the top that would have become yayin nesech even before the kli was Koneh. This is good stuff.
This is really good stuff.
What?
What about if there's no lachlukis but it's ben yomo?
I don't know. If there's no lachlukis on the top of the thing,
we already had some of these things, these shards.
Oh, in a chanami. 1 second.
Shards that, remember, they would bring it back to life.
1 second. Let's assume we're not talking about those type of kalim. If there's no stuff on the top, then in a chanami, it sounds like we would say that he doesn't have to pay for it beforehand, and it'll be Koneh.
It's min b'mino, and
okay, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Couldn't you not say that Hagbah doesn't work for a goy, but just this Mashiach?
So the Gemara seems to be equating Hagbah and Mashiach, and it seems to be equating the two things here. Says the Gemara, Fine. So now we've understood how Rav cannot be brought as a proof. Ukiman, who's this like? Delo Rashbag. This whole thing is not like Rashbag. Why? De'i Rashbag ha'amar. If you remember, Rashbag said what? Machar kula lo'ovdei kochavim chutz midemei yayin nesach shebo. Rashbag actually holds that when you mix wine, we're taking it for granted that in this case, as you pour the wine and it mixes with the droplets, as you pour the wine, so the entire thing becomes yayin nesach. Rashbag holds that if you mix a few drops of yayin nesach with regular wine, the entire thing does not become yayin nesach. You just can't get any hana from the yayin nesach part. So for instance, in this case, if I measure $10 worth of wine for you, and there's a drop of yayin nesach there, you have to throw 25 cents away. The other wine you can use, and you assume that it's not batel, it's batel in the thing. So that's not like Rashbag, because this whole case is assuming that as soon as you pour the wine onto the droplets, the entire thing becomes bad. Rashbag holds that if you mix a little bit of yayin nesach with other things, you don't have to throw out the whole thing, it's batel, but you do have to throw 25 cents or whatever the amount of yayin nesach is in there, you need to throw it out. Rashbag. How are you going to explain this case of Rav over here? Rav seems to hold like Rashbag, and yet you're explaining the entire case like Rav, and you're explaining that the reason Rav made them give money is because of the droplets on top. Why do you have to explain like that? Rav will just tell you that the droplets on top, he holds like Rashbag, the droplets on top are not a problem. Says the Gemara, no, he doesn't hold like Rashbag all the way. He holds like Rashbag, halacha Rashbag, chavis bechavis, avalo yayin v'yayin. Rav holds like Rashbag that if you have 10 barrels of wine, and you know that one of them is yayin nesach, you don't have to throw them all out. You have to throw one barrel into the water, into the yam, and the other 9, no, the actual barrel, I think we said you have to throw into the water. The other 9 you could drink and assume that you threw out the yayin nesach. But he will not agree with Rashbag that if actual wine gets mixed into other wine, then Einechanami, he would agree that every drop becomes yayin nesach, and therefore, Lamaisa, you'd be back to what we said over here. But the bottom line is...
barrel, not the money of the value of the actual barrel?
Rashi says over here, Ela Rav, look at the left. Ela bechavish and ari bechavios acheros deshakel chad minayu v'shadi lenahar v'inach sharu behana. That's to the left, like 7 lines down. Rashi says you chuck a whole barrel into the nahar, and then the rest of them you go. You don't have to look at the art scroll. You can look at the thing here. You can look at Rashi. It's even better than the art scroll. Where do you think the art scroll got it from? You got it from Rashi. It's not the other way around. I mean, look.
I thought it was a money.
You can show him like Tosos in there. You can show him the Rush. You can't show him a Rashi there. I'm showing him the actual Rashi, and he's saying, look at the art scroll. Really? This is what we've come to.
He understands the English.
He understands the art scroll, yes. Okay. Rashi is turning in his grave. Rashi is turning in his grave right now. What has happened to the Jewish people? Zuck, who? Who's Rashi? Who's Rashi? The art scroll. Our kids and I even know who Rashi is. Zuck the Gemara. Meisvei. Okay, it's all in good. It's all in good times. Ameimar. So now we're asking a kasha. That was a kasha on. That was Rav Ashi trying to bring a proof, and we rejected it. This is Geshmak Gemara. So now we have Ameimar. Ameimar is the one who said that Meshicha by Novei Kochavim is Kona. So let's try to bring a Meisvei on Ameimar. Meisvei, halokeach grutos. Again, you said Mashicha is Kona. If somebody takes pieces of silver from an Ove Mina Ove Kochavim, umatza behen avodas Kochavim, and you find a little idol amongst the pieces of silver. Imachlo natan maos mashach. If you have not yet paid for it, yachsir, then you can give it back. Imi shanasan maos mashach. If you paid for it already and then you took it into your possession, yolich liyam melach. Then you have to throw out the piece of avodah zarah, and you're not going to get your money back. If in fact Mashicha can be kona when you're doing business with an Ovei Kochavim, both, again, the Ovei Kochavim doing the Mashicha, or here the Jew doing Mashicha, if in fact you hold on Meimar that Mashicha works when you're dealing with an Ovei Kochavim, so why when I'm Moshech the silver into my possession, seemingly I would have been kona it, and now I can't give it back to the Ovei Kochavim. Now I have avodah zarah in my possession, which I need to get rid of. Says the Gemara, Amar Abayi mishum demechse ki mekach tos. No, because it's a mekach tos. The reason you can give it back when you take it is because it's a mekach tos. Amar Rava reisha mekach tos. Seif alav mekach tos. If you're telling me it's because it's a mekach tos, so what's the difference if I did the Mashicha or I did the Mashicha and I paid? Even in the second case where I already paid, it's also a mekach tos. And Lamaisa, why over there can I not give it back? El Amar Rava, no. Reisha v'seifa mekach tos. You're right. They're both mekach toses, and alts mekach tos, if you go to Beis Din, they'll say, since you didn't mean to buy avodah zarah, you can give it back to the non-Jew. So why don't we let you give it back to the non-Jew when you actually paid him money and did Mashicha? V'reisha de lo yayiv zuzei lo mischazei kavodas kochavim b'yad Yisrael. Seifa de yayiv zuzei mischazei kavodas kochavim b'yad Yisrael. Very interesting. What do we say here? Again, what happened? In the first case, what did I do? In the first case, I did Mashicha from you. I didn't actually pay you money now. I did Mashicha. We can hold Mashicha as Koneh. Why can I return it? It's a Mekach Tos. What happens when I return it to him? I give him back the Avodah Zarah, and that's it. We're done. Now, I still owe him money for the rest of the stuff, but I gave him back the Avodah Zarah. Or let's assume I give him back everything, because it's part of Avodah Zarah in there. I give him back everything and we're all done. What happens in the second case where I actually paid him for the stuff? What's going to happen here? Play it out. I'm going to give him the Avodah Zarah in the entire pile.
He's going
to give me a refund. What's it going to look like to a third party that's watching? It's going to look like I'm selling Avodah Zarah to him. Therefore, Maris Ayin, it's going to be a problem. Even though it's a Mekach Tos, Alts Maris Ayin, the people are going to think that what? People are going to think that I'm selling Avodah Zarah to a non-Jew. Therefore, we're going to make it usher. But Alts, the fact that I acquired it even with Mashicha. I acquired it in the second case for sure when I do Mashicha and payment. But the difference is that the only reason that, yes, it's a Mekach Tos, but there's a separate reason why in the second case I can't return it, because it looks like I'm selling idols to a non-Jew.
The first case goes the other way, that's why, right?
Amalei Mar Kashisha Breda Ravachista Ravashi. Now we're going to ask a kasha on Ravashi who says that Mashicha by a non-Jew is not Koneh. What's the kasha here? Tashma hamochi ein lo v'kochavim pasagat shalomada dama mutar. This is our Mishnah. That if I sell wine to you, a non-Jew, so if we come up with a price and then you go ahead and you take it, dama mutarin v'amar mashicha bo v'kochav meino koneh. If you say that mashicha is not koneh, amai dama mutarin. What's happening? We made up a price, very nice, but you didn't actually pay me for it. Now you take it into your possession, you touch it, but mashicha is not koneh. So why now, if you pay me, is that money going to be allowed? Says the Gemara, the one who holds that Mashicha is not Koneh is going to have to learn that in that case, what happened? You paid me before you did the Mashicha. We set a price. You paid me. Then you took it into your possession. The Mashicha is not Koneh. The fact that you paid me is Koneh. Therefore, when you touch it, it's not my problem. Ihachi, correct. Ema Sefer. If that's true that you paid me, then why in the case of Madarat Shelo Pasak Dama Vasurin? Why in the case where we measure but we didn't come up with a price, but you gave me money? Why when you go ahead and take it into your possession and touch it now, is it usher for me to go ahead and collect the money from you? Says the Gemara, first of all, what does that mean, dam of asurim? Now the money that you paid me already is usher. V'ita kadim le dinar, my dam of asurim. Amar le, no. Uladidach, even according to you, da amar mashicha bo v'kochavim koneh, even according to you, holds that mashicha is koneh, we still have a problem. Amai reisha dam of mutar v'seva davam asurim. Even if you hold that Mashicha works, so why, according to you, is there a difference between the Reisha and the Seifa? Says the Gemara, Ella ma yisachal meimah. What are you going to say? There's clearly, what's the nafkamina between the Reisha and the Seifa, whether you hold Mashicha is Koneh or Mashicha is not Koneh? What's the difference between the two cases? In one of them, you agreed upon a price, and in the other one, you didn't agree upon the price. Pasak, me'elamais chalameimar, pasak samcha daita, lo pasak lo samcha daita. The difference is, when you agree upon a price, whether you pay or not, when you agree upon a price, then you can have the whole thing go into action. That means first you have to agree upon a price. Before you agree upon a price, even if you give me money and say, Rabbi, here, take this money for when I buy it from you, it's not going to work if we haven't agreed upon a price, because you can go ahead and Taina, I just gave you the money for later, but I didn't actually want to buy this item because I have no idea how much it costs. And now when I'm being Mashicha, when I'm taking it into my possession, whether you say Mashicha Koneh, not Koneh, you're going to Taina, even if you say Mashicha Koneh, I didn't actually want to acquire, we haven't agreed upon a price. So when we agree upon a price, now one can argue. When we haven't agreed upon a price, Damav is going to be Asurin. So the Gemara is basically saying, whether you learn Mashicha is Koneh, whether you learn Mashicha is not Koneh, the difference between the two cases is whether you agree upon a price. When you haven't yet agreed upon a price, whether you hold Mashicha is Koneh, Mashicha is not Koneh, it's going to be Asur the Damav, because when you take it into your possession, whether Mashicha is Koneh or not Koneh, since there's no price, even if you say Mashicha is Koneh, when you take it into your possession, you don't really mean to be Moshe because we haven't agreed upon a price. Even according to them, when you touch it, it's going to be Asur. If you say that that you agreed upon a price, now either way, we'll say whether you hold Mashicha is Koneh, Mashicha is not Koneh, now the Damav is Mutter. Why? If you hold Mashicha is Koneh, then you just explain the case as being what? We agreed upon a price, I pour it, you take it, I pour it into my own utensil, you take it into your Rishus, Mashicha is Koneh, and now it's not my problem when you touch it. According to the opinion that says Mashicha is not Koneh, how are they going to learn? We agree upon a price, you pay me the money, then I give you the item, and then Lamaisa, it'll work. So either way, the only difference will be whether you had to pay or not. If you hold Mashicha is not Koneh, you're going to have to learn the case as being that you paid me beforehand. And if you hold Mashicha is Koneh, then you'll learn that it even works when you didn't pay me beforehand. If you don't agree on the price,
it's always mutter?
If you don't agree on the price, then it's always usher. That's what the Gemara is saying.
Always usher?
Yeah. Madad achelo pasak dama vasurin. If you don't agree upon the price, then anything you do, whether you hold, even if you hold Mashiachas Kona, when you take it, Ren, I pour the wine. We haven't agreed upon the price. You take it into your possession.
It's yours the whole time. Get it.
It's mine the whole time.
Yeah, got it.
Because we haven't agreed upon the price.
He's touching your wine. He's
touching your wine.
So
if we agree upon a price, and I pour it and you take it, well, then it depends.
Yeah.
If you hold Mashiachas Kona and you touch it before you paid me, then it's fine. If you hold Mashiachas not Kona and you touch it, it's going to be a problem unless you pay me beforehand. But either way, you can learn the Mishnah. The point is that you can learn the Mishnah according to either one.
You don't want a goy touching your wine
until he actually pays for it. Until you hold Mashiachas Kona,
or he
either takes Mashiach, or if you hold Mashiachas not Kona, you don't want him touching your wine before he pays for it.
You better agree on a price.
And you have to agree on a price beforehand, or else he could just tie it. I was pulling it towards me.
Can you just tell him? Say, look, if you're holding on to this, it's not yours. Can you make Mashiach Kona?
It's almost like you break it, you bought it.
No. The point is that you can't make Mashiach Kona. That he has to actually pay you for the item.
But it's like you break it, you bought it in the store.
Right. So this idea is that Mashiach is not Kona. Mashiach is not, according to that opinion. No, he's saying, according to the opinion that Mashiach is not Kona, I can't make a condition, Mashiach is not Kona, and Lamaisa, until you pay me money for it, it doesn't belong to me.
You can't create that.
No, until you pay for it, it belongs to me.
So you can't put a sign in the store that just says, anybody touching this wine, it's yours.
Not if you're sorry.
Enachanami. If he touches the wine, he didn't do Mashiach yet. Either way, if he touches the wine, even if you hold Mashiachas Kona, he hasn't done Mashiach yet, it's Aser. If you hold Mashiachas Kona and he takes it to himself and then he touches it, then one can argue that if there's a price on it, then Lamaisa.
I'm trying to say
non-Kona store.
If there's a store, if you're a Jew with a store, and you put a big sign that says, anybody who touches my wine, you break it, you buy it.
Doesn't accomplish
anything.
anything.
You touch it, you buy it, it doesn't work.
It doesn't accomplish anything. Well, break it, you bought it, right. Break it, you bought it.
He picked it up, removed it.
If you say Mashiachas Kona, then when he picks it up and drops it, then enachanami. But if he bumps into it, or if he just sticks his hand in, then enachanami, it's going to be your loss. Let's just finish up here. Says the Gemara, Elamayis Cholameir Pasuk Sam Chadai. Let's fine. Lididi Nami Afagav de Kadim Leidinar Pasuk Sam Chadai Lo Pasuk Lo Sam Chadai. Like we said, according to me, even if I pay, if you haven't yet made a price, it's not going to work. Amli Ravina Ravashi. Last case. Tashma. Again, Ravashi holds that.
But what about price tags? We said there's price tags everywhere.
So it sounds like if you have a price tag, then that's considered to be pasak, and then it'll depend whether you hold Mashiachas Kona or not, whether you have to actually pay for it or not. Right. If there's price tags, then that
gets rid of the problem.
That gets rid of the problem of agreeing upon a price.
By slapping price tags everywhere.
Correct.
So that's half the problem.
But again, it's only half the problem.
Yeah.
If even if you have a price tag, if he sticks his hand in there, you're done.
He didn't say buying it.
Regardless. So the bottom line is, if you have a store, don't leave the wine bottles open. Zok the Gemara, last case. Finish up in a minute. Ravashi again says that Mashiach is not Kona. We have a problem because Amar le Ravina le Ravashi Toshma de Amar Rabbi Chiyar barav Amar Rabbi Yochanan Ben Noach nerag al pachos mishave pruta velo nitan lihishavon. Ben Noach is killed for stealing even less than a shave pruta from a Jew, and it's not returned. We'll see what that last three words mean in a second. V'yamar Mashiach bo vekochav meino Kona. If in fact you're right, Ravashi, that Mashiach is not Kona, then amai nerag. Why is a non-Jew ever killed for stealing Jews' property? Right. Mashiach, he never acquired it. Yes, he took it, but he never acquired it. Why should he be killed? Says the Gemara, this is fascinating. Mishum ditzare li Yisrael. He's not killed for stealing from a Jew. When he steals from a Jew, he's killed for stealing for the Jew. He's killed for giving tsar to a Jew. Therefore, Lamaisa, we're going to kill him even though Mashiach is not Kona. Yes, even less than a pruta.
A goy holds
because we hold that by an Ovei Kochavim, Pachos Mishara Pruta is still considered to be Mammon, and it's one of the Shev Mitzvahs B'nai Noach, and therefore he is killed. Umaylo Nitan Li Shavon, but what does it mean? Okay, he's going to be killed. So what does it mean? He doesn't have to return it. Baruch Hashem, his family can keep the Pachos Mishara Pruta. The Eno B'Torah's Hishavon. Since it was so little, the Yisrael is mochel the amount, so the guy will end up dying for stealing the penny, but at least his family doesn't have to return the penny. Says Gemara, Ihachi Ema Seifa. If this is true, so then say the Seifa. It makes no sense. If he comes ahead, his friend, and he steals from him, so now you have a third party, another non-Jew steals the Jewish person's possession from the first non-Jew. Nerag aleh, the second one gets killed as well. But I don't understand. He's not stealing. It's not a problem because you stole less than a shara pruta, and there's no tsar in this case. Says the Gemara, Bishlama Reisha Mitzum Tzara Li Yisrael. Let's say from Mayavid. Rather, the fact that the second non-Jew gets killed, what does that show? Ela Shmamina Mashicha B'Ovei Kochavim Kona Shmamina. Now again, there's a whole discussion here because if Mashicha is Kona, then what happened here? It sounds like the non-Jew, first non-Jew, acquired it from the Jew.
Right.
Therefore, he was killed, and the second one now acquired it from the non-Jew, and he's also killed.
Right.
So that, I don't know, again, I didn't do further in the Gemara. I don't know if the Gemara is going to ask that question. It doesn't look like it, but the only kasha I would have is that if you say Mashiachas Kona, which we're learning, because clearly the fact that the second guy, but if Mashiachas Kona, so then, I understand, why is the second guy killed?
The first guy. He stole it.
But he stole it, because, he stole it from the second guy, and he's
First guy.
killed just for stealing.
Yeah.
Not because he stole from the Jew.
No,
He's killed for stealing. So the first guy does Mashiach, he's killed for stealing from the Jew, not because of the Tzar to Yisrael. He's killed because Mashiachas Kona. Now when the second guy steals it, he's going to be chayav killed for stealing from the guy, not because he stole from the Jew. Because if you hold that Mashiach is not Kona, then the first guy should get killed at first. What's the problem? Why is it a problem? What's the problem?
In the first case,
Yeah.
you're not really killing him because of Shabbat Pruti, you kill him because of Tsar.
No, that's what we said. Originally, we thought we're killing him because of Tsar, but the fact that the second guy, the second non-Jew who steals from the first non-Jew, the fact that he's killed also proves that when we kill the first guy, it's not because of Tsar, it's because Mashiach is Kona. Therefore, the non-Jew who stole from the Jew is Kona with Mashiach. Therefore, he's getting killed not because of the Tzar to Yisrael. He's getting killed because he was Kona the Mashiach, and he's for actually stealing. Now, when the second non-Jew steals from the first non-Jew, he's also Kona b'Mashiach. He gets killed for stealing as well, not because he stole from the Jew. That's what I was confused, because he stole from the non-Jew, and there's an Isser D'Oraisa, there's an Isser Sheva Mitzvot Nenoach to steal from anybody, whether you're stealing from a Jew or whether you're stealing from a non-Jew. The first guy's killed for doing Mashiach. It's equal for stealing from him. Yes, correct. That's where I got confused. Correct. That's where I got confused also. So the first Ben Noach gets killed for stealing and doing Mashiach, which is Kona from the Jew, and the second Ben Noach gets killed for doing Mashiach, stealing from the Ben Noach himself, because at the end of the day it's still usher for one Ben Noach to steal from another. And this proves Shema Mina Mashiach by Noach Kachavim is Kona.
Why do we do 6 things? It shows that
Two guys, one penny.
But we don't necessarily pass. You see, it's not necessarily the halacha l'maaseh.
First of all, Jews don't